This collection right here, ladies and gents, is one of the rarest assortment of Apple Watch bands in existence. Now, I'm going to come clean to you guys. I do not have the entire collection, sadly. I'm missing a few, but I'm on a journey on scouting out the ones that I still need without having to pay an arm and a leg for them. I'm talking about the 2016 Olympics International Collection, a set of bands that was released exclusively at only a singular physical location to commemorate the Summer Olympics that were held in Rio. These were sold on a very limited basis while supplies lasted, and is one of the many reasons as to why these bands are so rare and sought after. Buckle up, bandaholics, and welcome to episode 3 of the rarest Apple bands to ever exist. So as always, grab some snacks, maybe a couple of drinks, and prepare as we dissect and discuss this awesome collection of woven nylons that are increasingly becoming harder and harder to find. Let's hop right in. Bandaholics, I want to get it out of the way because yes, you're right, I also missed the woven nylon line. I really feel like Apple could have gotten extremely creative with this line of bands. There was so many cool and interesting colorful options with plenty of pop, lots of stripes, and overall pretty wicked designs. And so, for the 2016 Olympics, 14 countries are represented, with each having a limited edition band that either mimics the colors on their respective flags or to symbolize the nation's national colors. The nations represented are Australia, Brazil, Canada, China, France, Germany, Jamaica, Japan, Mexico, the Netherlands, New Zealand, South Africa, the United Kingdom, and last but not least, the good old US of A. In early August of 2016, these bands could only be found at that one location at Apple Village Mall in Barra de Tujica, Brazil. Probably said that wrong. And were limited to 2 bands per passport. So there was no way to order these online. You either had to live in Brazil, be there for the Olympics, or hopped on a plane to snag a couple of these very prized and unicorn bands that retailed for $50 for both casing sizes. This was very early on in the Apple Watch's lifespan, so this was even before I myself got hooked on Apple Watch bands. So it was only inevitable that these set the precedent as being one of the very first limited edition batch of Apple Watch bands. Nowadays, these bands are almost impossible to find brand new, much less finding one that comes with the original box. But the packaging for these bands was quite interesting. The boxes featured a gold outline of the band rather than having a picture of the band on the front. It looks like it's this really neat reflective golden print, but good luck finding an original box. Not only are they rare, but it'll cost you a pretty penny. Most of the 14 bands feature a brushed silver colored buckle, with the noticeable exception of the Germany and New Zealand bands, which both feature a darker space gray colored buckle to match better with the darker casing colors. On the underside, we can see we have some text on both ends that reads woven nylon, and your sizing on the other, which at the time, the only 2 sizes that existed were the smaller 38mm and the larger 42mm, which by the way, the 42mm bands on average are more expensive and rarer, seeing as band enthusiasts tend to prefer the larger casing sizes. But it all ultimately comes down to preference. So unfortunately, I am only missing a few of these. I have 10 out of the 14, only missing Canada's band, France's, the Kiwis, and the US band, despite it being my home country. But now here's a small Easter egg. There exists a prototype out there in the wild for Italy. I haven't seen it in person, but from pictures it appears to look very similar to the Mexico band, only having a different overall hue to the green, red, and white. And I've said this before, but that band was quite possibly scrapped last minute, seeing as how the Italy and Mexico bands, even on the more recent Sportloop International collection, look the same, because their flag colors consist of the same green, white, and red. Only thing is that Mexico's flag has their coat of arms right in the middle. Now, taking a look at a few of the designs a little more in detail, Australia's may confuse avid vexillologers, seeing as how their flag has the Union Jack in the canton and the Southern Cross across a very deep navy background. So why is it green and yellow? That's because green and gold became the nation's official national colors in 1984 and is used by their rugby team. And trust me, the Aussies and Kiwis take their rugby very seriously. Speaking of green, there are 3 other nations here who feature a lot of green in the band and in their flags, and that's Brazil, South Africa, and Jamaica. The bands for these 3 countries do represent the nation's flags more consistently, which for geography nerds like myself, yeah, I'd say they did a nice job here. South Africa is the band that features the most colors of all 14, running concurrently with the same 6 colors found on their flag, which are blue, red, black, gold or yellow, white, and of course green. So it's a perfect representation of their flag in my opinion. Mexico's band is another one that features a tri-banner design, just like France's, paying homage to El Tri, which refers to the tricolor design of the flag, only again, just missing the coat of arms, and honestly, it'd be kinda hard to incorporate the eagle devouring the serpent, so I really don't know if there was any way for Apple to make this more clearly indicative that it's Mexico's and not Italy's. Some of these bands have a very simple design, with only a dual tone color palette, which are New Zealand's, which is all black with a white loop to secure the band. China's is predominantly red with a yellow loop, with the yellow representing the stars on their flag. Japan's, which is all white with a red loop, again, just like the red circle with a white background of their flag. And the Netherlands falls in the same category as New Zealand and Australia, since neither of these bands mimic their flag, but rather symbolize their respective nation's national colors. I really enjoy the German band, seeing as it has black plastic inserts and a black buckle, so it makes it very distinctive. And I don't know, the black, gold, and red look extra awesome on Apple Watches with darker casing colors, such as the Space Black Titanium Edition Apple Watch. So this was a very fun way of Apple allowing consumers to show off some national pride, and I'm all up for it. My family is of Mexican descent, and I'm proud of it. Every time Mexico has a soccer match, or my bad, football for my international folks, I wear my Mexico band every single time. And I do plan to visit Germany and the Netherlands later this month, so you already know both bands will be in my travel tech bag without a doubt, ready to be slapped on the wrist. Now, one last thing, with the increasing scarcity of these bands, should you ever come across them online, don't be surprised to be charged anywhere from $200 to upwards of $500. It just depends on which country you're looking for, seeing as some are a little more rare, and it all depends on the condition and if or not you get the original box with it, which again, I'm telling you is very rare. I want to say I paid somewhere around $300 a pop on average for mine a couple years ago, but I wouldn't be surprised if prices have gone up, especially considering this inflation. So guys, that's the 2016 International Woven Nylon Collection, an elusive and elite set of bands that will elevate your band collection to an all new level. What are your thoughts on the woven nylon line, and do you guys miss that specific line of Apple Watch bands? I certainly do, and I'm still on the lookout for great deals on the other 4 I need to round out this collection. I already have every band for the Sport Loop International Collection, and I can't wait to complete this one. Anyways guys, as always, drop your comments down below, give this video a like if you found it entertaining, and I cannot wait to catch you all in my next video.